So welcome to the action in progress. I got a 2009 Toyota Corolla. We're doing a CV axle on the driver's side. I just want to show you my method of doing this to avoid you a lot of frustration. If you got a shop, of course, this is not concerning you. You have a lift. I'm pretty sure you don't have to do most of this I'm doing right here. But if you're doing the DIY and you're working from the ground, this is what I found to be the most effective, quickest method, so you don't have too many headaches. You're going to need a slide hammer. You can rent one at your auto store. You're going to need a slide hammer that comes with this type of attachment that you can have a vice grip. Okay? So as you saw, I removed the axle, basically just yanking it, pop the boot off from the side right here, just by yanking it. That'll do it. Okay? You got a little bit of mess there, but that's not the worst part. You can clean up after you're done. Now you have the axle stub in there still. What we're going to do now, we're going to take the slide hammer attachment. We're going to hook it up to the vice grip, and we're going to clamp the vice grip onto the axle stub at the joint as hard as you can, and then we're going to just basically hammer it out, and that's just how we're going to get it out of there. So if I can do one hand, I will show you the setup quickly here. So this is what I'm going to need mainly. This is not going to work. I mean, I bought this maybe 2-3 years ago. I've never been able to use it on any axle job. I don't know why. Maybe some of them will come. Same thing for this tool. It's completely useless. You know, it was designed for axle pulling from the back, but the angle right here is the reason why you can't use it. If it was flat, you could use it, but then it will compromise its strength. You know, but the angle is made so it can be stronger, but because of the angle, it's pretty useless. Alright, so all I need from this kit is this long insert right here that's going to fit perfectly into my vice grip, and I need the hammer tool itself, the slide hammer. Okay, this is just your 5-pound slide hammer. It's plenty enough for what we're about to do. So I'm going to take this out by just basically unscrewing it. Actually, I got to release the tension. Now unscrewing it carefully, make sure that the spring is a spring right there, and it has a tendency to want to come off sometime when you do jerk it too much. So just be careful when you do that. So let me unscrew this, and I'm going to screw this in its place. I'll be right back. Alright, so as you see, it's put on. I just snagged it up right now. I'm going to have to you know, adjust it a little bit as I'm going to tighten it up. Clamp it on the axle stub. What else I'm going to use? I'm going to use a little bit of shop towels here, and it's just going to add a little bit more grip because that is a slick surface because of all of the grease. So just to help it out a little bit. But if you have a really strong arms and you can clamp it really good, well then maybe you don't need this. So let me go ahead and set that up, and I'll show you a picture before we go ahead and start hammering out. Alright, as you saw, clamped it right there. Hopefully you get a good picture of it. Hopefully. Not easy, but let me get this light. There you go. It's a little bit better right there. Maybe at a different angle on this side, maybe if I can. No, I can't. There's too much in the way. Anyhow, so that's the gist of it right there. Just clamp it as hard as you can. Now you got this exposed. We're gonna thread the slide hammer onto this side right there. So I need 2 hands to stabilize it so I don't cross thread it. That's what it is. I'm just gonna thread it in there. Now if you want to, at this point, you can go and take I'm not sure what size this is, maybe 17 or 19 millimeter open end wrench, and you can tighten it up, add some more tension in there. That would be actually probably the best way to do it, so you don't spend too much time clamping with your force if you take a big wrench and just. Alright, but we're set up. I'm trying to see if I can do one hand, which is not recommendable right now, I'll be honest, because you need to stabilize it and hammer it out at the same time. But let me see it for just YouTube purpose, right? Let's try. Okay, you see that? Even though I clamped it as hard as I could, it's still not there yet. But that's the gist of it. I'm gonna try to do it with 2 hands because I do need to stabilize that, I guess. Well, what do you know? I just went, actually that first pull was enough. I just grab it with my hand and just pull it. I didn't even have to put this thing back on or nothing like that. Literally, I didn't have to turn off the camera, honestly. But yeah, that first pull was enough to pull it out, and then I just grabbed it with my hand and just yanked it out. It's right there, and that's about it. All right, so we can kind of wipe a little bit around here, and now we can go ahead and clean up this mess before we put the new one. That's easier to do it right now. Again, you can avoid this mess by doing it carefully, but again, like I said, it doesn't make a huge difference. It's not a big deal. If you're doing it at home, you know, get your pressure hose and just make sure you don't have water inside the transmission. That's about it. Sorry guys, I'm forgetting to put you in the shot there. So, like I said, this is just cleaning up, nothing else. All right, you get the new axle. You're probably going to need a hammer to hammer in the new axle. And this is why it's good to always keep the old axle nut, because we might need it. Alright, this is the axle. It's right here from a local old parts supplier. Sorry guys. Comes with the new axle nut, of course. We're going to use the old one just to tighten it out. Alright, cool. What we want to do is make it go straight in. Until we start catching something there. Alright, now I'm going to take the old nut, put it back in here, and I'm going to take my hammer this thing all the way out. Oh, it's not the old nut, but I usually keep this type of nuts out here. That's too big. There she goes, right there. Just want it to become flush about right there. Not flush, right there, so I don't have to mushroom this when I'm pounding on it. What you want to do now, when it's inserted, when it's in the splines, you won't be able to turn it like I'm turning it right now. So it's not in the splines yet. So just make sure it's in the spline. There you go. Now you can't turn no more. See that? It's in the splines. Now all you need is just to tap it right here with a hammer, and then it'll seat all the way in. Sometimes you don't have to. You can just kind of jerk it in, but sometimes that doesn't work. All right, let me go ahead and do that with the hammer. All right, a few taps later, it's all the way seated, and the way you know is you're gonna grab it from here, and you're gonna just jerk it like that. If you hit a third, you're bottomed out. That's about it. So now the rest is the easy part. Take this, and I'll put it back in there. Right on. So that's about it. Take the new brand new nut. Put it here just halfway, just kind of to hold it together, and then go back and put everything back together like we took off. All right guys, I hope you liked the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful weekend.